From Atlanta News First Plus, this is Sports Tonight.
What's up, everyone? Emily Gagnon here, along with my fave, Lee Smith.
What's up?
On a Monday, October 23rd. Lee, Halloween's almost here.
I know, right?
What are you going to be for Halloween?
What am I going to be for Halloween?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a lumberjack outfit.
Do you still do that?
I got a lumberjack outfit right now, kind of.
But do you still do that? Like, do you still like dress
Yeah.
up and
Oh,
celebrate?
for sure. Oh yeah. Okay.
All right.
Last year I was the Brawny Man.
You were who?
The Brawny Man.
I
You
don't
know
even know what
the
that
toilet
is.
paper.
Oh, okay.
I had the little toilet paper roll like high and tight, kind
I
of
don't
like holding a
participate.
football, high and tight. Yeah.
None of this.
It worked
surprises
out.
me. And
It
then
worked
Sarah,
out.
your wife, she was what? Did she match your outfit?
No, I can't even remember what she was. Oh my
All right,
goodness.
Sarah, I hope you're not watching.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it slipped your mind.
I had too much fun. How about that?
I see that. If at any point during this show, Lee, we've got some time to talk about it.
Okay, I'll get you.
Remember,
yeah.
then
I got you.
just interrupt and start talking about it. But I think it's only appropriate that we get today started with Florida, Georgia, Florida, whatever you want to call it. I call it Florida, Georgia. I went to college in Florida. So
Well, then
that's
I'll
what
call
was
it Georgia, Florida
always
to balance
called
it
to
out.
me.
How about that?
But what was it always called to you? Like, what would you, if you were back in college at Alabama?
Florida, Georgia.
Right?
Yeah.
It just rolls off the tongue much
Yeah.
better to me. F comes before G. Like, to me, aesthetically pleasing to the eye is the
But
F
isn't it
before
whoever's
G.
the home team that year is supposed to come first?
I mean, yes, like, of course, and if you're talking about, like, regular sports, and they do flip it, but, like, here in Georgia,
Okay.
that's the one thing that people tell me the most, is that you did not call Florida, Georgia, Florida. And they get
Okay.
mad about it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
well.
I don't, listen, it's the game. They play each other. I don't care who says.
Look, they're SEC fans. It doesn't matter what your fan base is. If you're an SEC fan, you're a little delusional, and that's okay.
You're one of them.
That's
so
okay. I am.
How are you feeling ahead of this game? The Dogs without Brock Bowers for the first time in 3 seasons. He hasn't missed a game. He's been healthy. This is so unfortunate. But we've moved on from the actual injuries. We need to talk about how the team moves on, but how do you feel?
Look, it doesn't. I mean, yes, it's not good for them, but it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. The offense is going to still chug along. Oscar Delp is going to pull a little bit of slack. Lawson Lucky is going to pull a little bit of slack. I mean, he was the number 1 rated tight end coming out last year. So, I mean, they've got talent. They've got depth. So I'm not really worried about them. It's just how long it takes both of them to kind of get incorporated. And really, Delp's caught a couple of balls. Like, is it in like his first day? So like he should be okay. And I don't know how long it's going to take Lawson Lucky to come back from. To really get into game mode,
Right.
not come back. Sorry,
Yeah. No,
to get
he's
into
back,
game mode,
but
because
yeah.
there's a big difference.
Of course. He's not 100%. He had tightrope surgery, the exact same surgery Brock Bowers just went through a week ago today. But he is a freshman, and he's the one that we're hearing who would more than likely, be the most similar to Brock Bowers.
He kind of even looks like him in pads.
I know,
Honestly,
people
he
think they're
does.
twins. Yeah.
He looks like him.
And you know what? If he does the same thing as him, then oh my
Hey,
gosh.
if he does, dude, if he does like 75% of Brock Bowers things,
Right.
he's gonna be great.
So what we're hearing is that Delp, from people who cover the team, from people who've been around the tight ends, that Delp is more of a traditional guy. He'll go in there, he'll block, and he'll make like the traditional tight end moves. He'll catch passes here and there, touchdowns, whatever. But if you,
A really talented,
lucky,
traditional tight end.
you can line him up anywhere on the field like they have Brock Bowers. He can be lined up at running back. He can go wide receiver. He can go at tight end.
Yeah.
He can block. He can catch. He can do the, all the special things that, we're accustomed to when it comes to Brock Bowers. So I think, Lee, that they'll maybe lean on him, a little more than Delp, because Kirby keeps saying that Delp's role does not change with Brock Bowers being out. But you've got to wonder. Kirby says things to just say things so the other team doesn't know what they're doing. So is Delp going to have a bigger role? Probably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Will he take more snaps? Will he be on the field a little bit more? I would have to say so.
Yeah.
And maybe him saying Lawson Lucky is not fully healthy yet, that could be a lie too. So we'll wait and see, but I definitely think between the two of them, they're going to equal one. They're going to have to.
I know, right?
They're going to have to eat two great tight ends are going to have to equal the greatest tight end in college football this season. And I don't think anybody will argue that with me. But I'm feeling good entering Florida-Georgia week just because Florida's been so inconsistent this season. You do know, though, the Gators will show up. They beat Tennessee at home. That was their big win this season. Which, actually transitions perfectly into our next topic. And we've got to talk about it for you, Lee.
Woo, woo.
Yeah, we have to do this just for you. Again, Lee,
Well,
for anybody
that.
watching who doesn't know
Appreciate
anything
that.
about Lee, our producer, photographer, he went to Alabama. He is a big Bama fan. And I can attest to the fact that I saw him Saturday during the game. He was working, and you kept your cool, Lee. You kept your cool through that first half. I don't know how you did it because most of the time it's meltdown central, but you were.
So the
composed.
secret is to not watch the whole game and
Okay.
just let it unfold. And hopefully after 60 full minutes, your team's on top. And guess what, Brett? Our team
I know he's not here today,
is on top.
unfortunately. So that was one thing that I actually have to talk about, and it's like the fact that we're on TV talking about it makes it even greater. Our producer, Brett Gilbert, who you see on this show every once in a while, he's a huge Tennessee fan, and every play that Tennessee made, every time they did something good on the field, he was like, "Yeah, boy!" and running up and down the hallways.
Like if he was in a press box, he would have been kicked out.
And absolutely. And Lee, to my surprise, was not speaking back to him. Lee was complete silence. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Lee's either going to implode. I did not know what to think because usually, I see you pacing the hallways. You don't speak much, but you do pace a lot.
I know.
I don't want to take it back to Indianapolis. I saw a lot of pacing that night.
Come on.
Anyhow,
Why you gotta
Brett
bring
is
that
making
up?
noises, all kinds of things. And all I heard Lee say all night long, this is the one thing. He's like, yeah, man, this is your Super Bowl. I understand. This is the one game. It's your Super Bowl. We've got bigger games. Lee, you won the Super Bowl.
Well,
And it wasn't your Super
It
Bowl.
wasn't our Super Bowl. Actually, we should say Brett's team lost their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what we should say.
Yeah, Saban doesn't smoke
I
cigars.
just love how they thought they had they had hope,
Okay, but
and it was looking pretty grim.
I was going
It was.
Yeah, for you guys.
It was.
So that's what we should talk about.
Not gonna lie, they
regardless.
had us in the first half.
Yes.
Not gonna lie.
Yes. So that first half was delicious football on Tennessee's end. And then that second half was delicious football on Alabama's end. Well, I think you guys scored 20, was it 21 or 27 unanswered points?
It was 27. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was 20-7 at halftime. Alabama was losing.
Yes.
So Tennessee, hey, look, they came out firing on all cylinders, and Alabama just
That
did not
first
look like they
play.
came to play. I don't know what it was.
I don't know what happened that second half.
But they've always
Meltdown.
been a second half. They've been a second half team every game this year.
No.
Except
No.
Texas. That was the one time. And even then, we actually showed we were actually a second half team. We just got pummeled in the first half. But it was impressive to see them. I mean,
Oh my
come
gosh.
back 27 points unanswered.
Yeah. Listen,
That strip sack.
Lee, I don't know what. Yeah, that was nice.
Scoop and score?
That sealed it for me.
Yes.
But straight out of the locker room, they punched Tennessee in the mouth on that first drive, and they
Oh,
scored.
yeah. Yeah.
And to me, if you ask me where was the pivotal moment in that game, to me it was that. They responded right away, and then they were on the gas from that moment forward. They never let off the gas. And Lee, I'm going to say something to you that you can actually speak on.
Yeah.
I had an Alabama coach tell me it was the first time all season that he actually saw his players celebrate. Doesn't
Yeah.
happen very often at
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah.
And they were celebrating on the field, and he said that was the best moment of his career there so far. Because, the weight of playing at Alabama, the weight of coaching at Alabama, as soon as you win, you're on to the next. There is no time to celebrate. But it actually felt like that team that night gave itself the night to celebrate.
Well, and really it was a big deal because of what happened last year.
Correct. They dropped
52-49. I can't
50,
even remember the
half a
story.
hundred.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and
They won the Super Bowl last year.
Yes, they won their Super Bowl last year.
And it felt good, right? For
It
you
did.
guys.
That was great for them. They snapped a 16-year losing streak, which, boy, what does that feel like?
Yeah.
16 year, dude, over a a decade and a half losing to the same team, that would be my Super Bowl too, I'd say.
And it was such a close game. They
Yeah.
dropped half 100, but it's still it was like 51, 53 to like 49 or something. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But
it was a great atmosphere.
Oh my
They
gosh.
had all the
But you can't hate them for reacting the way they did, marching out
for
the
sure,
stadium
for sure.
with the goalpost. All that.
and that was cool for them. Great.
Yeah. But Alabama handled business this year, and that's all that matters.
2 times in a row, though.
You're not going to do it. Not to Saban.
No.
So listen, as much crap as Saban has gotten this season and his team has gotten this season, is Alabama no longer the top team in the country? Are they fading? Is Saban on his way out? Whatever. What I like most about all of this is that every weekly, and I know you're super critical of your team, and I know there are things you want to change. And if you were the coach, there are certain places you would start. I know. I hear you talking about it, but they've improved every week. And at moments, they look awful.
Yep.
But overall, they've improved every week. And that is your true sign of a good football team.
Hey, the biggest, best attribute they have is they don't fold when they're in high pressure situations. You get down 20-7 at home. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But guess what? They didn't fold. They did their job. And quite frankly, they absolutely dominated that second half.
And it's moments like this,
Absolutely dominated.
further down the road when they do struggle again, it's these games that will give them the push. They have the experience to battle back. But it's looking more and more, Lee, like it's going to be these two teams, Georgia and Alabama, first weekend in December at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And right now, I like Alabama over Georgia now.
Okay.
I like Alabama over Georgia.
All right.
They have a bigger chip on their shoulder than Georgia does. And that's the reason I say that. They are going to remember, even though so many of those players might not even have been part of that SEC championship. I'm saying the national championship. I apologize.
Yeah.
They beat Georgia
3 years ago now
in the SEC championship game. But Ellie, our producer, is mentioning Mizzou to me right now with a whiteboard. And yes, Georgia still has to beat Mizzou, and Mizzou could still get it done. But before we move on to our next topic, Lee,
Alabama's still got to beat LSU.
I was going to say next weekend is
That's
going
the
to
game.
be the biggest weekend in the SEC for the future. In the future, I'm talking about is the SEC championship game.
But it feels like almost every year for like the last 15 years, it's been Alabama and LSU, and occasionally Auburn.
Yes.
But more than not, it's been the LSU game. So they get a bye. Alabama gets a bye week this week, so they're going to chill out. But guess what? LSU also gets a bye week.
It's going to be juicy, though. It's going to be nice and juicy up in your stadium.
Hey, buckle up for November, SEC fans. This is going to be fun.
Oh, it really is going to be fun. But
Georgia's hitting their hard part of their schedule.
Yep.
Alabama's got LSU and Auburn, sprinkling Kentucky, I think, in between. So
that's going to be a 7:45 kick for you guys.
Should be fun.
LSU at Alabama, 7:45 next weekend, and you've got this weekend you've got, of course, Florida Georgia at 3:30 on Atlanta News First on CBS, and then next weekend Mizzou at UGA is another 3:30 game.
Yep.
So Lee, we've got back-to-back games on our network. Like you said, buckle up because this is about to get real fun. All right, the Falcons, they win without Bijan Robinson, their stud first rounder at the Bucs. They're at the top of the NFC South. I never thought I'd say that again, Lee, but here we are talking about the fact that they're number one in the division. But it was so ugly. I don't know how much of that game you watched, and I don't expect you to watch the most, but it was 16-13 and so ugly. So
I actually watched a decent little bit.
They're lucky they won that
Offense?
game, the Falcons.
Okay, I'll say this. Offense looked great. They looked great until they got into the red zone and Desmond Ritter fumbled the ball. God.
He's the first player, I think, in 45 seasons that's fumbled 3 times, lost a fumble 3 times in a single game.
I don't understand how that's possible.
Keep your fingers on the ball.
Well, especially when you're going across the goal line, dude.
How many players though, Lee, can truly
Because he was going to the far side boundary and he had it in the wrong hand. If he just switched it and had it on his outside hand, that would have been a touchdown easily. There's no way the defender could have punched it out. And then instead it's a touchback. So there's 7 points. Luckily, your defense came to play. like they pretty much have
They
every game
are-
this season.
They're the savior. They are.
I mean, outside of the Detroit game, yeah, when no one came to play, the defense was really impressive though. Like
they
really
continue to
impressive. And Richie Grant got a pick. I mean, they just looked
in a really important moment.
yeah,
too.
a very pivotal moment.
Yeah.
And it just looked like they were. I don't know if they were confusing Baker, but they were getting constant pressure. The defensive line was, linebackers too.
But Baker's not an elite quarterback, as Kirby Smart would say.
No, but he's in your division, and if guess what, you lose that game, well, good luck. It's going to be. I mean.
But this is going to go down to the wire, probably between those two
Yeah,
teams.
no, it probably will, but you still don't want to start off with a loss right there. I mean, come on now.
I just can't. I can't remember, and maybe they were last year. I don't remember the last time the Falcons were number 1 in the NFC South. I just don't remember it. I don't remember the last time I said that. Maybe 2017.
Was it last? No, I don't think it was last year, but they were close.
2016.
They had
the year that they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like it's been
that
a
was probably
quick minute. That division is so weak this year. I mean, it is like incredible how it's a bad deal.
Well, 2017 they came back, and I think they were leading too, right?
Yeah, but
The year they lost to the Eagles.
Let's talk about Bijan real quick though. So he did not play.
Yep.
He got 1 touch for 3 yards. It did set up the game-winning field goal for the stud of the team. I mean, is Younghoe Koo the best player on the team? Maybe we should just
Yes.
go ahead and say that.
Yes.
He is the best player on the team. That was his 10th.
He's the most consistent for
his
sure.
10th game-winning field goal. 10th.
Yeah, I think he is the
Pro Bowl. Let's
yes,
do it.
Yeah.
This man deserves it, but Bijan didn't play because, and nobody knew during the game until finally it was announced that he had a bad headache because he hadn't been on the injury.
Migraines, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
hadn't been on the injury report all week. He practiced with the team. He, wasn't visibly hurt, so people were wondering like what's going on. But he had a headache, and he said he just didn't feel right. So coach said, we'll keep you out. He did say today, Arthur Smith said that Bijan should be fine. So he should be from that. He should be good to go this week.
And I couldn't imagine being a running back getting hit on the head while also having migraines.
But also, it does, like, number one, being a football player, you go through these things, I would assume more so than not. But I
Playing
do
through
wonder,
injury or some kind of ailment. Oh, yeah.
I do wonder, though, is this, like, a thing that happens to him often? And, like, I don't know if he was asked that, and I don't know if he'd actually admit it.
Probably not.
But, ESPN reported that he wasn't given a COVID test. And he didn't go through like the concussion protocols or whatever. So that was interesting to me too. I thought I don't know, like of course you don't
something,
like if he doesn't get headaches often and it hurts so much that he didn't want to play or Arthur Smith was like, let's keep you out. You got to wonder like, was it something bigger?
Right.
So we'll find out this week when they play again. Let's go through this quickly, Lee. I know you want to get to some sound here that we've got. Onyeka Okongwu. New deal with the Hawks. You like this move?
He showed last year if he gives a little bit of chance, he can do something with the ball. Was it 4 years, $62 million? 4 years, $62 million, I think.
I just, I don't have a problem.
That's a lot of
with
money,
this.
guys.
Yeah, I don't
That's
have
a
a
lot of money.
problem. I just keep thinking about like DeAndre Hunter and how like the Hawks kind of did that.
They pulled the trigger a little too fast for him.
And again, like I have no issues with Okongwu. I think that he is fine. Is he like elite? No.
But hey, he's a
plays
dependable big
behind-
man, and that's hard to find these days.
He plays behind Clint Capella, CC.
Yeah.
So like, but we'll see if that pays off in the end. The Hawks actually get their season started Wednesday at Charlotte. Then they're back home, their season opener. So their season opener Wednesday, their home opener Friday against the Knicks. And tomorrow you will officially see NBA ball. I say that because 2 games are tomorrow. So you'll actually be able to start enjoying
All right.
basketball very soon. Lee, what's on your mind today?
What is on my mind?
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say the
You gonna give us baseball or
Major
what?
League Baseball.
That's
Come
what I
on now.
thought. I
Game
can read your
6.
mind. Lee
Game 6 of the
loves baseball.
NLCS. Game 6. And let's see.
Yeah,
Game
give it
7
to
is
me.
Game 7 of the ALCS is tonight. We got the Astros and the Rangers both tied at 3. They're playing at the Astros, so hopefully.
Wait, do we have a score right now?
Oh, we do. Okay, so for the NLCS, the Diamondbacks are leading the Dodgers right now 4-1 in the top of the 5th.
Okay. Wait, they're leading who?
The Phillies.
Okay.
The Diamondbacks are beating the Phillies right
Yes.
now in Game 6 of the NLCS.
And right now the Phillies are up in that.
They're up 3-2. So this
could go to a
this
deciding
could
Game
go to a
7.
Game 7, which
In
would
Philly.
which would be back in
Right?
Philly, and that would be
Wild.
insane.
And you were there. You covered the Phillies Braves games.
Yeah.
In the division
it gets
series.
very rowdy
So
very quickly.
It looks like Giannis Antetokounmpo
Yeah.
just signed a new deal too. 3
Oh,
years. How
well-
much, Ellie?
186.
186. Take that, Okongwu. Let's drop it on him. 186 mil. Wait, does that beat who had signed the richest deal over
my
the summer?
goodness.
For Boston, who's from here, the little point guard.
Oh, Jalen.
yeah.
Jalen Brown.
So was that? Let's see how much did he sign for? Because is that the cap? 200
Really?
plus. I would think Giannis is worth a
Yeah,
little
but
more
what?
than
Well,
that.
but what's the year
But yeah,
average?
I get that. I get that. Because he was the highest paid player.
What
when
was
he
it?
signed.
186.
186. Jalen Brown was 304, my man.
$304 million.
Crazy. Ellie gives us the good stuff. You know, she's in front of the camera sometimes.
Man, he
behind the
can't even
camera
dribble with his
sometimes.
right hand. That's
But,
crazy.
I mean,
That's crazy.
I think this is some wild
What are we
stuff.
doing here, NBA?
Who, you're talking about Giannis, though?
No,
Are you
no,
talking about
Jalen Brown.
But he's from here. We got to give him some love.
No, he's really
Something like
talented.
that.
That's awesome. Great for him.
So
like
we're-
seriously, great for him.
But don't you
Obviously.
love all these like things that are coming through here last second because the season starts tomorrow? So you like contracts are being negotiated, signed last minute. All this like Orlando Arcia, if you'll remember at the beginning of this past regular season, he signed like the morning before
Yeah.
they started
Yeah.
playing. And I don't even think I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
Professional sports, man.
But I don't know, like, like the contract negotiations and all that. I don't know where he was in his contract, but I think I told you this. He outplayed that contract. He signed for pennies,
dude.
given how he played and how much money baseball players make. Arcia got, like, I mean, he
Like
got
pennies
taken-
on the dollar
Yes,
compared
he
to
got
what he,
taken advantage
compared to his
of.
production. Yeah.
There was no way that the team knew that he was going to play as well as he did.
But to be fair, almost every Brave, at least in the lineup, the starting lineup, outplayed their contract this year.
and you know
All
what?
of them.
There's that discount
Like
that we talk about all the time.
they all overperformed based on their market value or whatever or their contract, I guess I should say.
Lee,
Like,
I'm going to tell you
they
what's on
just
my
killing
mind
it.
before we go to Kirby for a couple minutes and then we head out of here. Georgia State, the Panthers, they deserve some love. A
Roar.
lot of it. 6-1 start. That means they're already bowl eligible. They still have weeks to play.
Yeah.
Best start in program history. They played Georgia Southern on Thursday in a primetime game.
That's a big one.
I think that makes 3 straight weeks where the Panthers, little old GSU, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, start off, or had 3 straight, I apologize, 3 straight primetime games. It's never happened before. So as long as they keep winning and keep doing their thing, Lee, they're going to keep getting more and more exposure.
And I hope they do because it's a great story for this for Atlanta for sure. But I mean, but in football in general, like come on, they were a team in 2010. Their first team was 2010.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean,
That they're finally off their best start. I mean, that's
No, and Sean Elliott has had an awful season last year. I think
Yeah,
it was maybe
it was
like
rough.
one of the first
It was
times
rough.
that they didn't go to a bowl game under him. But now they're already bowl eligible, and now they have their eye on something bigger, right? They want to win the Sun Belt Conference, and they've never done that. So you know what? I mean, listen, if they keep playing the way they are and they don't get a big head, Lee, it's happening.
who they got left.
So Georgia Southern this week, and then I don't have a clue, but right now, so they're 6-1 overall and 3-1 in conference play. So, and they lost to Troy. So Troy would be the team to beat, but I don't know what Troy's actual record is. But
I don't
Troy
think it's as good.
Always, I mean, you're from Alabama. Troy
Oh, do they always play tough? They always have like 1 or 2 games where they just play out of their minds. It's like I swear it's like Alabama and Auburn. Auburn always has one game like when they have far less talent, but they play out of their minds and they take one. So Troy's like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't underestimate Troy, but now you can't underestimate
Oh,
GSU.
hey. They got James Madison coming up after Georgia Southern, and James Madison's ranked in the top 25. They're number 25.
That's awesome. I love that.
So they got Georgia Southern primetime 7:30 this Thursday night, and then they have James Madison the next week at home. By the way,
Does it give us a kick time?
3:30. 3:30.
On what? Is it on like a
No
major
network yet. No network yet.
I mean, that's
It will be.
Yeah.
It'll be somewhere.
good for them. That will
It'll definitely be somewhere.
That will truly be a measuring test about where they are.
Hey, and then they go to Appalachian State.
Oh, so there's some. We got a tough schedule.
Okay. So they have Georgia Southern. They go to Georgia Southern. Then they have James Madison at home, ranked, and then they have Appalachian State at home, not ranked, not this year, but still, I'm sure they can pull out a crazy upset. But then they go on the road to LSU.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay.
I'm telling you,
They're
November's
bowl
crazy,
They're
guys.
already bowl eligible. Okay.
November's crazy.
November is crazy. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
But I will say, like I said, like they're already 6-1, right? So we already know they're going to postseason play, and that's amazing for them. At least they're off to their best start ever. Like, they might not finish as strong, but they started strong. Okay. And Ellie just said that Giannis, it would be equal to $310 million if he signed 5 years. Is that correct? Yeah.
So
Okay.
per year, he's making more. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, Lee. Like that's why I was like,
I
wait,
can't even.
what?
What does $300 million look like?
Okay, but what will it
Like
look
what
like?
what does $1 million even look like?
But Lee, what will it look like in like
I don't know.
20 years when he might not be able to walk? You know what I'm saying? Like there is a price to pay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know, the Tyler Rose, he can. I mean, he's in a wheelchair, like basically permanently. And that was like football back in the day when they basically assassinated you on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Like back in those days, every bone, every nerve, everything.
But,
I mean,
but could you imagine though playing basketball though? Like you might have bad knees later in life, but you're not. I mean, it's not the same like on a football field, and they're getting paid like double, triple, quadruple what a football player's.
And guaranteed.
Like
football still doesn't have guaranteed
right,
money.
and it's all guaranteed. That's crazy.
Unless you negotiate it, like Julio negotiated it. We're not getting to Kirby Smart sound, Lisa. We're just going to keep chatting about the day.
No, that's all right.
Because there's so many things.
I mean,
that
could
have
you
happened
imagine that,
today.
why, like athletes these days? Why, like, I would try to be a basketball player if I could.
No, I try to be a baseball player if I could.
Oh, you do baseball over
Ellie
basketball?
agrees with me. My girl Ellie is like,
Oh,
yes.
over basketball?
Yes, because you like the one thing you might hurt is like one of these things.
One of those things.
But
words are hard.
But
your arms, your shoulders.
I think we should look it up. The no salary cap in baseball.
I mean, yeah.
Ellie wants to make that money, honey. But listen, I think, Lee, that baseball players last the longest. I just do. I mean, and
they do. I think in general they do.
And you don't have to be as athletic. You have to be able to have power when you hit. But like,
oh, come on. Don't say that.
You're not running up and down a court for however many minutes.
Don't say
You're
that.
not. You're not running up and down
Baseball
a court.
players aren't as athletic?
I don't think they are as football and basketball. And maybe that's conditioning. Maybe I said that incorrectly. Conditioning. Maybe they're not as conditioned.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Cardio, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're running up and down all day, every day. Soccer players, like, oh my gosh, up and down, up and down. I mean, come on. That's what I think. Football, basketball, soccer. I'm not interested. I want to be a baseball. I want to be a DH.
Oh, whoa, yeah, that would be the dream job. Yeah, if you could just drop bombs, you hit 3 or 4 times a game and drop bombs, and you get millions of dollars, absolutely would be the best case scenario.
On the Braves roster this season, who I would be. Can you pick who you would have been? Like, okay, if I
Well, I mean, technically, I guess you're saying you'd be Marcelo Ozuna, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
That was good. That was good. I want to be somebody like Jesse Chavez. Because I'm like the old human in the clubhouse. I'm respected, but I don't play much because I'm injured. But I'm still getting paid. So I'm respected, I'm getting paid, and I'm not getting hurt.
All right.
I mean, that's just my opinion. So who would you have been?
Oh, well, I definitely want to be look, dropping bombs is cool, but I think closing is probably the best.
Oh, so you want to be a closer?
Oh, yeah. If you be a closer, you'll still make a lot of money.
You got to pick from the Braves roster.
Iglesias.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a
come on now.
Move.
You get your own little song going on the field in the 9th inning. Everybody's looking at you. They're counting on you. Come on now.
You can handle that pressure though.
Oh, I don't know if I can handle pressure. I mean, there's a difference. I'm here and not
Lee,
there,
you
so
don't
there's
have a
that.
choice. All right, guys, we're gonna have to let you go. This is a great conversation. You have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. But other than that, Lee, Bama back at it.
Woo!